Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis is ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody, let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope you're all enjoying your hump day. Man, it is hump day, y'all. Woo, it's hump day. I hope you guys all enjoying your day, making it a wonderful day. You know, I missed all y'all. Let me just cut this out real quick. I missed y'all. Can I just say that? I missed y'all yesterday. I didn't get a chance to see and feel all of your spirits yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I really did miss y'all. So I'm really, really happy to be on with you guys today. You know, there's a lot that went on yesterday, and I'm glad that I was able to take the time to I'm glad the internet was out yesterday. I'm gonna be honest. I'm really, 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 really like happy that the internet was out, because I had to take care of some things for myself. But I'm so happy to be here today. I'm so glad to be on this planet. And for every single one of y'all that are watching this show right now, y'all better hit that like button, send those likes all the way up, and show that you are thankful for being above the ground today. I just wanted to say that really quick out loud. Okay. Looks like my internet is going to be just fine. Fingers crossed. We'll see how it goes. But I am very happy to be here with y'all, chopping it up with you guys. We got something devastating to talk about, which is, I mean, it's like to come back and to be here. Of all things, we got to talk about this. You know what I mean? Plenty of other things that I wish we could be talking about, that we could be chuckling about, laughing about. But unfortunately, we got to talk about this. And this is some terrible stuff, man. Devastating stuff that's going on, which we are going to get into here very, very shortly. But yes, be sure to hit that like button down below. You know, the procedure. You know, I got to do this. So hit that like button down below. Do not forget to do that. And of course, do not forget to crush that subscribe button. Okay. If this is your first time checking out this show, please hit that subscribe button and welcome to the Pascal Show. I'm your host, Pascal. All right. My middle name's Pascal and my last name is Show. Just if you're looking it up in the yellow pages or white pages. Is it white pages? I think it's white pages, right? Show the Pascal. You know what I mean? Just in case you're trying to find me. I'm kidding. Anyway, I got my brother David in the house. What's up, man?
Hey, man, not much. Had a good Thanksgiving weekend. I hope you did too. I mostly just ate a lot of food. That's really all I did for the weekend.
I forgot you weren't on Monday. I totally forgot you were on Monday, and thank God you weren't, because it was that.
Exactly. So you didn't even notice.
Like it was just that the entire time. So for a second there, I'm sure everybody who's watching this show right now was like, "Wait, did he freeze again?" No, everything should be fine. Should be fine. Okay. Also, I want to say this too, real quick. Shout out to Lady Justice. I'm going to give her props where props are due, because she was like, maybe you just need, because everything, my whole thing has been Wi-Fi. I've been using everything Wi-Fi, right? So I'm hardwired to everything right now. So even the picture quality of the camera is even cleaner. Like everything is hardwired into this mug right now. So it better work. Okay. So shout out to Lady Justice, because Lady Justice sent me a message on Discord. Hey, shameless plug, follow us on Discord. All right. But she was like, maybe it's the connection, maybe it's a Wi-Fi thing, so on and so forth. So we did all of our breaking it down and going back down to the root of it all and everything. It is everything. I'm hardwired like a mother lover right now. So looks like it's gonna be good. Fingers crossed, like I said. Shout out to Lady Justice for being so damn smart. Stop being so freaking smart, Lady Justice. Damn. It makes it sickening. It's just disgusting. Anyway, So I'm very happy about that. Thanksgiving for me was good. Thanks for asking, David. It was good.
Did ask.
No, you didn't ask.
Yeah, I did.
I know you did.
See, I got you this time.
You got me. I love you. I love you, man. You have my back. You have my back. It was good. Ate some really good food, chilled out, hung out with family. You know what I'm saying? I got a crazy story where I'm gonna have to tell you guys some other time. But Lady Justice, I'm saying Lady Justice again because she'll love this. I'll just wait for the music to die out. We're expecting.
Congratulations.
Puppies. Sorry. That's what
Well, that's even better. It's cheaper.
No. My dog is preggers. My dog is
the same one?
Yeah, man. My dog is pregnant.
You gotta keep an eye on him, man.
Man, not my fault, bro. It's not my fault. It's my fiance's fault. It's all her fault. I was in here when the magic was happening. It's another story. I'm going to tell you guys another time, probably tonight, because I will be on tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. The very, very hilarious story. I will tell it to you guys that time. But no, we are not pregnant. We are not expecting a baby. We're expecting puppies. Again. We were not wanting to let them do their thing this time. And well, life has finds a way. So it did its thing. The worst Jeff Goldblum impersonation I could ever do, but Jurassic Park, check it out if you don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, yeah. So they just straight up skadooshed. I'll tell it tonight. It's a hilarious story. I don't think it's the right time today, right now, before you go into some really crazy, terrifying, chilling news that happened, that broke yesterday. And man, was I angry that I wasn't able to jump on yesterday and talk to you guys about this, but we have to talk about it today. But tonight I will explain everything. Yeah. Romeo and Juliet found a way. And most definitely did they. I'm sorry. Usher was playing in the back. I'm done. I'll stop there. I'll explain later. Okay. But for those of y'all who are interested in hearing that story, I will be talking about it tonight. It will be a small little anecdote. It won't be anything crazy, but it's hilarious. We will be talking about it tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So tune in, be a part of the conversation. Hopefully we have something light, a little bit lighter to talk about tonight. Because damn, it's getting really, really crazy right now, guys. More and more we are seeing this. I mean, every day it seems like there's a mass shooting that's going on or that has transpired. And I'm sorry for turning on the dime, but we got to get into the story because we're not here for a long time, but we're here for a good time today, okay? So there was a mass shooting in a high school in Oxford, Michigan. Three children have been killed. 8 are injured. This is what we know so far. One is on a ventilator right now, on life support. And it's just, like I said, just devastating information. Now, what's crazy is we have footage from what happened inside one of the classrooms, which we will be looking at, and also a lot of these news media, these media clips that we're going to be showing you guys throughout the show. They're showing a lot of the footage. You don't hear the audio, but you see what was going on. We have the actual footage by itself. We will be looking at that. And let me tell you guys something. It is devastating. It is terrifying. And what's crazy is how smart these kids were. These kids were hella smart. And when they found out, when they realized, I don't want to ruin anything, okay? But when they realized that the guy was not who he said he was, they were smart and ran, okay? So we will be showing you guys that footage here in a little bit. I'm so used to looking over at the feed to make sure it's not going you know what I mean, pausing on me and stuff. Sorry, guys, if I keep pausing randomly or looking over, it's me and my paranoid self looking at this stuff, making sure the feed is solid and it is not sticking. And so far, it is solid. All right. So we got to jump into this. We got a bunch of articles. We got a bunch of stuff that we got to look at. But I figured I could show you guys this news clip.
School shooting.
Whoops. This news clip real quick. Because I know David's got a bunch of information too. So we're going to be bouncing back and forth and getting down to the nitty gritty of this story. Like I said, 3 students have been killed so far. 8 have been injured. From my understanding, one of them is a young girl who is on life support right now. She is fighting for her life as we speak. This is devastating. Like I said, this is absolutely devastating. And you're going to see a lot of stuff here, guys. So trigger warning, viewer discretion is advised. We really need to get this gun control under control. But we will be talking about stuff like that here very shortly. Let's take a look at this really quick.
The deadly school shooting in Michigan at Oxford High School. That's about an hour north of Detroit. 3 students killed, at least 8 others injured, including a teacher. An alleged lone gunman, a 15-year-old student, is in custody at this hour. Police say he was armed with a semi-automatic handgun. Multiple agencies responding to the call of an active shooter. Ambulances in the driveway. The school principal getting on the PA with the code word for lockdown. The stories coming in at this hour of students barricading themselves inside, teachers putting paper up to cover the windows of classroom doors, then barricading the doors with tables. Some students climbing through a window, running for their lives across the snow. Others carried out on stretchers to the ambulances waiting outside. And of course, that sadly familiar storyline. Students taken to a nearby location, this time a supermarket, to wait for their parents. We saw some of those reunions today. ABC's Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas leading us off tonight.
Today at yet another school, students, teachers, and parents terrified and scrambling after shots fired on campus.
They're requesting medical assistance, multiple ambulances if possible.
This time at Oxford High School, some 40 miles north of Detroit. This video showing students in the classroom running for their lives. Local TV stations breaking into programming.
We're now looking at, at least 8 law enforcement officers with long guns who are entering the school.
3 students killed, 8 others shot, including a teacher. Student John Edwards describing the chaos to our affiliate WXYZ.
Over the PA, we hear our principal, Mr. Wolf, shouting, "Alice lockdown, Alice lockdown." And then we heard the gunshots in the class. And so we locked down, turned the lights off. Our teacher got paper taped over the window on the door and got his 2 big tables and barricaded the door. I was just scared. I was praying for, my safety, my friend's safety, everyone's safety.
Edwards able to call his mother.
I could hear the fear in his voice. And I told him, I said, "Baby, I'm on my way. I've never been so scared in my life."
School officials left reeling.
Of course, I'm shocked. It's devastating.
The suspected shooter, a 15-year-old sophomore at the school, allegedly armed with a semi-automatic handgun.
I want to pause that really quick because I want to look at this information right now. Obviously, they have not given out the identification of the shooter, right? But one thing I want to point out is this is a 15-year-old boy. 15. Hasn't even seen life yet. And he's walking down the halls of his high school. Excuse me. And he's walking down the halls of his high school, allegedly armed with a semi-automatic handgun. $15, guys. You know what's really crazy to me is that we live in a time now, and I'll say it over and over again, but that we live in a time now that this is the norm. That they have procedures in the school where they the teachers know to tape up the windows, of the doors of their classroom, if they have, like windows in the window panes in the classroom. They know to push the desks up against the door, right? To barricade the door. They actually have now active shooter drills, not earthquake or any type of acts of God type of stuff, right? If there's a tornado or if there's an earthquake or something like that where they do those drills. No, they actually have nowadays active shooter drills. From my understanding, the teacher, one of the principal, went on to the PA and shouted out a code word, which basically is saying there's an active shooter on campus. Hide. And now we're at the time where our children have no way of protecting themselves except hiding under a desk and barricading themselves behind a door with the teacher's desk, right? And hopefully that desk is pretty damn heavy, right? But other than that, that's all they got. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that teachers need to be armed. I'm not saying that at all. But to think that this is a 15-year-old boy running around and putting everyone's life in his hands is devastating. And the fact that we actually see this every day almost is terrifying. Used to be like once a year. Now it seems like every other month there's some sort of shooting. Literally, it's like every other month.
I mean, just last week there's a school shooting in here, in Aurora again. And it didn't even make the news just because of how few people got hit, basically. But I mean, it's still happening every single week, everywhere it seems.
You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to point this out for those, that have that feel some type of way about guns, the right to bear arms, all that stuff. Hey, I believe in it too. But there's got to be more control within this gun control situation. We're going to look into an article here in a little bit where Michigan police went in and Michigan law enforcement went to this young man's home, this young boy. This ain't even a man yet. This is a boy. And they pulled out multiple weapons, multiple firearms from this young boy's home. We're going to continue, but I just wanted to point this out. He's 15 years old. He's 15. He's not even fully developed as a man yet. Unbelievable, y'all.
He fired multiple shots. We're thinking, 15 to 20 shots that were fired.
Trayshawn Bryan telling a reporter he was worried something would happen at school today, so he says he stayed home.
You had been hearing that there was going to be a possible shooting at the high school?
Yes, I did. I heard it multiple times.
An emotional Governor Whitmer on the scene late today.
I think this is every parent's worst nightmare.
There have been no word yet on motive, and there was no struggle during the arrest. But we're told the suspect quickly asked for an attorney. Tonight, police are conducting a search at the young man's home. But at this point, they do not believe that anyone acted with him. He acted alone. David?
All right. Real quick, I want to point something out. I'm pulling this back to this young man right here that said something about he had a feeling that something was going to go down today. Hold on. I want to hear this one more time.
Stayed home.
And this is me being suspicious. This is me being the inquisitive mother lover that I am. Okay? Because I'd be inquisitive and ish. We wouldn't have a show if I wasn't so damn inquisitive. But take a listen to what he said real quick.
Says he stayed home.
You had been hearing that there was going to be a possible shooting at the high school?
Yes, I did. I heard it multiple times.
So you hear this multiple times. This young man, this young boy right here, student, said, I heard multiple times that there was going to be a shooting at the school. Not trying to throw him under the bus, and I don't know his backstory, but if he knew this, and he hadn't gone to somebody, why didn't he go to somebody to let somebody know Ish could possibly go down here in the next day or two? And I just want to let you guys know. David?
Yeah, I was going to say that this does seem to be a rumor that was going around the school right before the shooting. There was actually some significant signs that this was probably going to happen.
Significant signs, you say?
Yeah. So
Passing.
yeah, one of the weirdest, I guess, is what I meant to say. Ones is so this comes from Under Sheriff Mike McCabe. So in November, a deer head was thrown off the school roof. However, they claimed it was unrelated to the shooting. But after that point, rumors started spreading around the school that there was someone planning to do a shooting in the near future, and that was going around amongst the students. The police say they were unaware of it. However, the teachers and the students all seem to be aware of that rumor. And of course, it came right after somebody threw a severed deer's head off at the top of the school. I'm not even sure how they got it up there, to be honest, but
Wait, what?
yeah, I don't know. But
no, I'm like, repeat it one more time because that sounds crazy.
yeah, okay. So in November, early in November, a deer's head, it was severed, was thrown off the school roof. The police said that it was unrelated. However, in response to that, that's when the rumor started spreading around. In fact, the school itself, the school administrator, to be specific, sent 2 letters to parents on their website, on the school's website, saying that they were responding to rumors of a threat against the school, but had found none. And this is when the rumors that there was going to be a shooting started happening. So those rumors were already going around, and that's when they decided to investigate the rumors. But they didn't find anything, despite the severed deer's head that someone took to the top of the school and threw off. Which obviously, if you can sneak a severed deer's head in the school, sneaking a pistol in is
easy.
Not that, yeah. And like you were saying, he shouldn't have had this. This was his father's gun. It was a Sig Sauer, I believe. Let me find the exact. Yeah. So the suspect, the boy, his father had the 9mm Sig Sauer that was used in the shooting. And they don't know why that man bought the gun. He's allowed to, though. I mean, he didn't have a felony or anything, according to this anyway. But the suspect, that's the student, the boy, had posted images of him shooting a target with the pistol. So there's also images of him using the pistol beforehand, in addition to, well, they don't know that he threw the deer's head off, but somebody threw the deer's head off. And if, I mean, severed head is pretty much the standard like threat of death, I would say. I mean, that's what you see a lot of gangs do in like South America and stuff. That severed head is a threat that there is going to be followed on violence usually, and that just seems to be kind of a homogenous thing because people don't usually throw heads at things unless they have something wrong with them or plan to do something bad.
Right? Like what? See, that's the thing that doesn't like. And they're saying that there's no connection.
The sheriff saying that, yeah.
The sheriff's saying that, but I'm just saying, like, they're saying that there's no connection to that, but something like that goes down. I mean, to me, I would feel like something's. I feel like that's a connection. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's a warning. That's a big warning sign. Then on top of that, when you have the young man that was being interviewed saying, hey, yeah, we, I heard multiple things. I heard multiple times that there was going to be a shooting today, that something was going to go down. I mean, I still just don't get how. I just don't get how that. I don't know. How would you not take that seriously and make sure that the school has extra security that day? Or something like that, or extra security that week or that month. I understand that's money. I understand that's extra, but that keeps your children safe. You got somebody who's throwing a head off of the top of a like what? A deer head?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, so for me, there's no connection to a deer head being thrown. I'm sorry, that just makes sense. That doesn't make sense. I don't care how rural the town is. I don't care how metropolitan the town is. But you got somebody bringing in a deer head. successfully and then tossing it off. I don't,
And on top of that,
somebody make sense. Somebody make that make sense, because that does. Sorry, David. I don't have time today, man.
and on top of that, it was either the same day or over the night. It's not entirely clear. According to the police report, they don't give the exact day, but it happened within the vicinity of the head being thrown off. The person, presumably the same person, painted a bunch of windows in red, as well as some of the walls around the door frames, like with blood, like a Passover type thing, as well as the windows being covered in blood. Not blood, but paint, red paint to look like blood. I mean, it's not really, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And that, and that's not a warning?
Apparently not.
There's no connection? Now, here's the thing. That was, so I understand this better. That was a same person?
They don't know yet. They haven't released the name.
No.
Well, they might know, but we don't know. They haven't released the name, so I don't know. They might.
But if you have somebody going around doing something like that, to me, I would say those are warning signs.
Yes.
Those are huge warning signs for me. Like, I'm sorry, that is a huge red flag. Huge red flag. Somebody said red rum. Facts. Like, you can't sit there and say, oh, no big deal. These crazy kids, they're just painting walls with blood and painting doors with blood and throwing deer heads off the top of the buildings. It's totally normal, but it's not connected. It's just, a little mild signs of violence. No big deal. It's a foreshadowing of what's to come. You can't tell me that there's no man. See, like I say all the time, the math ain't mathin', man. The math tain't mathin'. All right? Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Len Street, she says, the students stayed home that day because he had a countdown on his Instagram that ended on that day, allegedly. I'm going to repeat that one more time. If this is true, because that's information I didn't know, my mind is blown. But let's say this real quick. One more time. Shout out to Lynn Street. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat again. But she said the student stayed home that day because he had a countdown on his Instagram that ended on that day, allegedly. I'm just going to let this one out here. This super chat out here for just a little bit longer, to let it soak it all the way down to the plums. Okay, let this marinate all the way to the bone. Okay, can you believe this ish? If this is real, if this right here is real, my mind is blown. Now, here's the thing, though. Why? If anything, why did the students not go to the school, to the officials in their school, to the student teacher, to the school staff, the administration, and let them know something was going down? Or if somebody had gone up to the people at the school and said, hey man, this guy's got a countdown saying it's about to go down in the next T minus some odd days, right? Why didn't the faculty, thank you, Scapegoat, why didn't the faculty do anything about it? Because here's the thing. Let's keep it straight funky, y'all. Len Street, I'm keeping it up because I want this, like I said, I wanted it all the way, to get the juices all the way in there. Okay, massage it into your brains. If this statement is true right underneath me, why didn't the teachers do anything about it? Why didn't the students do anything about it? If that's the truth. If the students really knew that this kid, who I understand was a victim of being bullied in his school, and obviously he couldn't take it anymore, so he had a vendetta, right? And he was taking lives into his own hands, taking the lives like they were nothing because he was upset, probably years and years of ridicule. If these students knew, why didn't they go to the teachers? And if they did go to the faculty, why didn't the faculty do anything? If this is a huge red flag, this is a huge warning sign. Forget the deer head and the doors being painted with either real or fake blood beforehand. A countdown on a social media platform, I'm sorry, but is a dead giveaway.
And I can confirm that Fox Detroit had a one of their spokespersons was in the area. They had a specialist who was a former FBI agent who went through the social media. The former FBI agent said that a lot of this case is going to hinge on forensics, particularly what the individual was looking at on his computer and what he was doing on social media, his activity on social media. And then he goes on to say that this kid posted, let me just read it directly. Before the page is removed, the alleged shooter posted what looked like a countdown. His Instagram page is under Black Death, which says, "Now I become death, destroyer of worlds. See you tomorrow, Oxford."
Hold on, one second. It's called what now? Hold on, I'm gonna look this up. I wonder if it's still up. That's the question. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Okay. Just opening up the thing. Okay, what is it?
They said his Instagram page is under Black Death.
Black Death spelled just Black Death?
Yeah, 2 words.
And spaces in between, or
yeah. But the quote he says, "Now I become death, destroyer of worlds." That's it's a reference to the Hindu god Shiva, but also Oppenheimer was one of the scientists on the atomic bombs. He said that after we nuked Hiroshima, or Nagasaki, whichever one was first, he said that. So that's probably what that is a reference to. Instead of Hinduism, it's probably a reference to Oppenheimer saying that after we nuked Japan. Which is it's a significant phrase. It's definitely a quote. He didn't just say that on accident.
Right. So I'm in the middle of trying to find his Instagram. Did they spell it any other way, or is it named anything? Is there no underscores or spaces in between, so on and so forth? Because I want to see this for myself. You see what I'm saying? I think we all want to see this, because I still can't believe that this all went down and nobody said nothing.
It looks like the pages are now removed.
Of course it is.
So yeah, it looks like all of his social media is now removed. So I don't think you can find it.
Okay. Oh, I tried, because I mean, there's other Black Deaths on Instagram, which is all this other crazy stuff. But that's some crazy-ish. That is some absolutely crazy stuff. Now, one last time, can you repeat what he said in that post with this countdown?
He says, "Now I become death, destroyer of worlds. See you tomorrow, Oxford."
Now, here's the thing. They said that there was Len Street said that there was a countdown. Was there a countdown underneath it, or was it that just the post? Like, was it like T minus whatever? You know what I'm saying? Like, a screenshot.
They say it was presented as a countdown. They don't say explicitly. So it was presented as a countdown, and then at the end, or above the countdown, it was saying, "Now I become death, destroyer of worlds. See you tomorrow, Oxford."
Have mercy. Okay. Man. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And I was going to say, it sounds like he was in the bathroom hiding with the weapon, and then he came out of there, and that's when he started shooting. And then the deputies, this was the point that they took it from him. He had already shot a few people when he was hiding in the bathroom. They don't give a lot of details, but he was in the bathroom, and then he came back out again, and the police intersected him. They don't mention any shooting at that point. But he gives up at that point, and they think that he was intending to go shoot more people at that point, because that's what he was doing, and they think he was going to the next room basically to shoot more people. He still had ammo and everything.
I mean, he was suited and booted for sure. He was ready to go. This is crazy. And like I said, the fact that he put it on social media, and these kids, obviously, these kids live on social media. They live on those TikToks, the Instagrams, not really Facebook, but you know what I'm saying. They're on Instagram and TikTok a lot. And for them to know about this, like I said, that kid knew about this before it went down is just absolutely chilling. It's crazy. And the fact that there was no heads up to anyone, to faculty, to anything, possibly, I mean, is a devastating thought. Go ahead, David. I got an article that I got to show you guys, but go ahead, David.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just kind of ignored the threat. This is what happened in Aurora last week. The police there are terrible, for one thing, but they did get there were warnings going around, and everyone in the school knew, and they posted letters about it. And the police decided not to do anything. This is not unusual for Aurora, so maybe something like this just happened there. Because from what I've read, this rumor was going around. The teachers were aware of it. It seems like everyone was aware of it. However, the police are claiming that no one told them, even though the information was out there immediately after their investigation about the head being thrown off the school. That information was already out there being passed around amongst students and teachers. I just think this is another case of the police not taking it seriously and just kind of trying to cover their ass now.
Yep. Well, I mean, obviously they're just sitting there going, oh, it's not connected. But that's a huge warning sign. Like I said, huge ass warning sign. Clearly something was going on beforehand. They had a full heads up. They should have taken it seriously. Looked into that, because here's the thing. A deer's head, y'all. A deer's head. Blood on doors, either real or fake, on these doors. And they didn't take this seriously. The faculty, the school didn't even look into it and say, this could be a warning sign of something, a foreshadowing of what could possibly come in the near future. Like I said, I understand that some places, some people might go, hey, we shouldn't be so dramatic, right? We shouldn't be so, have such knee-jerk reactions. No, we should be having knee-jerk reactions. Yeah, it's just a deer head, no big deal. It's a deer head, yo. Blood, either real or fake, is getting smeared on doors. Like it's the Passover. That's a foreshadowing something. There is a connection there. Whether you like it or not, you have to look into those things. This is the time to be dramatic. This is the time to be overly protective. Right? Not the other way around. That's just kids being kids. What child wants to take a dead deer head into a school and toss it off the top of a building? What kid wants to do that? I'm just saying, there could very well be a strong connection between these two. It could be these kids just being jerks, a whole other set of kids being jerks, but at the same time, that is something that's serious. We should be looking into that, right? Not, kids will be kids. Ha ha ha. Move on. Nah, you look into it. You look into that ish. I see Reagan Penny said 10 p.m. or 10 press conference, 10 Central Standard Time, 10 Eastern Standard Time. Or I mean, what? Oh, okay. The press conference was 45 minutes long. But yeah, like I said, I just don't know. Personally, I think this is a strange connection, and for these schools not to look into that, because even if they took that seriously and really just used that to look into some things, this shooting could not have happened too. That's a possibility as well. That could have stopped this young boy from actually doing this heinous act, because he would have been like, oh man, security just went crazy. People are looking into this deer head thing. Shoot, what I wanted to do, I can't do it now. That could stop that kid from doing something even worse, whether he is part of that or not. You see what I'm saying? It could have stopped those things, personally. Now, I do have another super chat from Len Street, but I want to show it, but I don't want to put it up yet because it has to do with this article that I'm going to show you guys here. And I don't want to jump the gun because she is saying something that I want to jump into, which is in this particular article here. Okay, but they are Michigan cops remove armfuls of weapons from Michigan high school student shooter's home, as it is revealed that he was bullied, and he stole this gun, this 9mm, from his dad to kill 3 classmates. And he now, interesting enough, is refusing to cooperate with law enforcement. Now, we do have the names and the faces of the victims, which I will show you guys here in a second. But 8 people were injured, including a teacher and a girl who's 14, who's also in critical condition and on a ventilator. The sheriff's office said the suspect, 15-year-old male, used a 9mm Sig Sauer, right, pistol purchased by his father. See, like I said, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of gun enthusiasts out here. There's nothing wrong with you having a collection of guns. But you have to make sure that there's no way on God's green earth that your children are going to be able to get their hands on those guns. Because you never know. You never, ever know. Which we will talk about here in a second, because there are other ways to have your guns and have them locked away safely so that your kids have no way of accessing it. No way. Chilling footage shows students hiding in a barricade classroom, which I'm going to show you guys right here. And this video is just absolutely chilling. But before we go into that, I want to show you guys the faces of the 3 that have died during the shooting. So Madison Baldwin was 17 years old. Hannah St. Juliana, was 14 years old. And where's the other name? They did not put the other name in here. Hold on, guys. So Hannah St. Juliana was 14 years old. Tate Meyer, 16, and Madison Baldwin was 17 years old. Like I said, 8 others were killed, or eight others were injured in the attack. And one of them is a teacher, and another one is a 14-year-old girl who is on life support right now as we speak. All I can say is I'm sending out all my prayers and thoughts to every single family member, to the people, to the victims of this shooting that are fighting through this, through their injuries, and fighting for their lives right now. But there's this video, guys. There's this video that is absolutely mind-blowing. And I give these kids mad props because they were so smart. Because if they did something different, there would have been a lot more casualties and injuries in this school. I want to show you guys this video. And you got to listen, because this kid, the shooter, tried to lure these kids out by saying that he was the sheriff, that he was the sheriff's department. The kids were about to go over until he said one word that totally exposed him. Like I said, these kids are smart. Take a watch.
Yeah, we're here. Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, I said it's safe to come out.
Now, we're not willing to take that risk right now. I can't hear you. We're not taking that risk right now. Okay, well, come to the door. Look at my bag, bro.
Yeah, bro.
He said bro.
He said bro. Red flag.
Go.
Slow down, you're fine.
Slow down. I want you to drop backpacks. You're okay. We're okay. Drop your backpacks. Yes. Thank you. Drop your backpacks.
Imagine that, y'all. Imagine you are in the car. First off, this kid, I just want to point something out. This kid is so not nervous that he's having time to have a Coke and a smile. I'm not kidding. He's chilling in the cut. He's chilling. No worries at all. Right? Just casually taking a sip. I just wanted to point that out. That's crazy. But these kids literally could have lost all of their lives if he did not say one word, and that word was bro. He was like, yo, he said, bro, bye. Bye. They just out the window. Smart kids. I give these kids mad props for being so damn smart. So perceptive. Because literally, he could have shot them all up. If they just opened up the door. And crazy how they jumped through the window, ran to the other door, I guess to another section of the school, and the cops were on the other side of that door. Right? Imagine if they really did say, "Oh, it is the sheriff's department. We're okay." Right? This outcome could have been completely different if he didn't say bro. Crazy, right? Smart kids, David. Smart kids.
Mm-hmm. So one thing the investigator was saying, the police, his name is Bouchard. He said that authorities were made aware of allegations circulating on social media that there had been threats of a shooting at the roughly 1,700 student school. But he said they didn't know about the rumors until after the attack. Bouchard stressed how crucial it is for tips of this kind to be sent to authorities, while also cautioning against spreading social media rumors about the attack before an investigation. So it seems like the information was out there, and he's telling people not to spread this sort of information, but to bring it to the police. To me, though, like I said, this should have been part of their investigation after the deer head was thrown off the school, because that is exactly when those rumors started. I still think he's trying to push the blame on the school when the blame should be more on the police here, because the school sent out letters about it. I mean, they did say they didn't think it was a serious threat, so that is a mistake. But I mean, they sent out these public letters as the police are doing their investigation, and now the police are acting like they are not aware of this whatsoever, except all this information came out the same time as the deer head was thrown off, that these were directly related. Even though the police say they aren't, that's when the rumor started, and that's when it spread across the school very quickly. And so that's when the letters were released within the next 2 days. So those letters were released about the threat of an attack within the next 2 days, and the police claimed they are unaware of it. So either they did a very poor investigation into the deer's head and the red paint, or they're just lying and saying that they are completely unaware of all these letters and the information that was put out within the 2 days after the incident that they should have been investigating, but seem to have assumed has no violent intent behind it, because they don't think it's related to this violent incident, even though I mean, typically these are all signs of a violent attack is coming. These are threats, distinct threats that you see in a lot of more violent or less civil, less like stable, civilized areas. Like I said, you see this in South America. This is, in fact, the mafia used this exact same thing. They'd use severed heads is a threat, and this is common amongst a lot of gangs, major gangs like that, like the Triads and all of that. So I don't see a circumstance where you would not see a severed head being thrown off the top of the school and red paint on everything as a direct threat. And I don't see how you would end your investigation within 2 days because they would have had to ignore the letters about this threat of an attack coming. I think the police are just trying to cover themselves right now. I think maybe the school could have done better, but the school put out that information, and the police are pretending they did not know that information was out there, even though that information has been out there for over a month or over 3 weeks now.
Whoops, sorry, guy. For me, it just, I'm still trying to. For me, I'm still just trying to figure out and understand why there wasn't some sort of that nothing was done when there was a warning. I mean, here it is. Whether or not the deer head was connected or not, right? We could push that story to the side. We could push that. We could click and drag it over and say, hey, possibly that was not a connected situation. There's no connection, maybe, right? We can entertain that for 2 seconds, and that's fair, okay? But the countdown on this man's social media and the fact that there were other kids that knew what was going down, that ish was about to hit the fan, and there was no protocol, there was no action taken upon that said post on social media, says something not only just to law enforcement, but also to the school as well, or even the students. Because here's the thing. There are plenty of kids that are angered or enraged by being bullied, right? That have had just can't take it anymore type of situation, right? I'm not going to take it anymore type ish. And there's a lot of friends that are around these guys or people around them that see that they're percolating, right? All that rage inside is just vibrating aggressively. There's friends out here or people that are around them that hear stories, hear words from them saying, man, I'm about to do X, Y, and Z. I can't take it anymore. These guys deserve to blah, 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 whatever. They deserve to taste my wrath, right? Feel my wrath, right? But the thing is instead of that, this guy goes to his social media and posts, countdown. It's all going down tomorrow. And instead, from what we see so far, instead of these kids going to the school, they stay home. Why aren't they calling the school, sending an email, something like that? So the school could go, we're shutting down the school today. Sorry. There's a possibility of a shooter going on. I don't care if this is a false alarm. You know for a fact if somebody calls in a bomb threat, what do? You shut it down. You shut ish down. It doesn't matter if it was SAT day or you're taking your SATs or your ACTs. Doesn't matter if it's finals and it's the final day of school and you get a phone call or you hear about somebody saying he's going to blow up the school. What do? You shut it down. Period, boo. That's what you do. So the one thing I want to do, the one thing I want to look into more than anything in the world, right, is understand why if kids did not go to the faculty to give them a heads up that day, why didn't they? And if they did go to the faculty and say, hey, man, this dude is put out a social media post. He put out a post saying that ish is about to go down today. If those kids and those students went to the faculty and said something to them, why didn't the school shut down immediately? Everyone go home. Bye. Have a great day. Sorry. School's canceled. Call your parents or will arrange rides for you guys, something like that, right? We'll bring the buses back, drop them off, y'all. I don't care. Take them home. Get them away from this campus right now. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to cause crazy panic. That's why you use that's why you have certain protocol when it comes to a drill, those active shooter drills. You do that drill, right? So if there's an active shooter, or if you know that there's going to be one, why weren't they going, okay, pull the plug, school's canceled. Well, let's knock it off as a snow day. Come on, guys. Bye. That's it. But nothing happened. Kids died. 8 people are in the hospital right now fighting for their lives. A 14-year-old girl is on life support right now.
I mean,
all of this could have stopped if they just took that post seriously. David.
Yeah, I do think the school could have handled this differently. This does seem to be a, generally speaking, nicer area. But and I went to high school like 20 years ago now. But even then, when they had a threat that somebody had a weapon in school, they just locked down the room, searched every single locker. They have metal detectors, and the officers check every single room just for a threat like that. And checked everyone's lockers as well. They actually did find the gun, in fact, because there was one. So at least it seems like then they were taking these kinds of threats more seriously. I feel like if that same incident happened here, they wouldn't have taken it seriously and wouldn't have searched the lockers and wouldn't have found that gun.
Nope.
It seems like people, as someone in chat said this, but it seems like people are becoming desensitized to these threats of violence. Even though the threats of violence are still being carried through, they're just happening so often that people aren't treating them seriously. And this is how things like this are slipping through, I think. There's a lot of cases here. A lot of people knew that a lot of people seem to know that this was going to happen. They have an officer there to check, keep an eye on the students. And someone in chat again said they checked their social media, which they did at my school. The officers did at my school, checked people's social media. So that makes sense. And also these teachers were aware of at least the warnings after the deer head. It seems like everyone knew. People didn't even come to school that day, allegedly. And nothing happened. Like I said, when I've seen similar threats like this at my own school back in the day, they took it very seriously. They locked everyone down, searched everything. They didn't send out a letter saying it wasn't a serious threat. They just checked anyway. Like, you should check with these kinds of things. You shouldn't assume that it's not a serious threat, especially after a significant incident like throwing a deer head off the top of the school. They should be investigated. I don't know how schools do it nowadays, but again, back in my time into high school, they would send the officer to students' houses if they thought that student was going to cause violence at the school. And I'm not just talking about like a fist fight, but anything more significant than that, the officers would go to your house and check. And it worked. I think that did stop some violent incidences from happening at my school. And I think that if places like this school took it more seriously, they could have prevented it as well, even though, I think they could have. I don't know exactly what the situation is at this school, but, a lot of schools now, and it doesn't seem like it's the case at this one, you do have to have a transparent backpack, and you do have to go through metal detectors. It's been this way for a long time at a lot of schools. And it's probably no accident that the places where these shootings happen don't have those sorts of protections. I've noticed that, every one of these shootings, they don't have that. Whereas at a lot of schools I've been to, they have an officer right next to the metal detectors and everyone has to go through them. So it seems like people are getting more lax about these threats as they become more frequent and they become more dangerous. So I don't really know why.
Yeah, and I was going to say, but why though? But why? We need to be taking these situations very seriously. Why is it just because? Okay, just because he might be the quiet type, or maybe he's the one who is bullied that doesn't have a whole lot of friends with around him, does not mean that we shouldn't be taking what he's saying or what his posts seriously. We should be looking into those things. And here's the thing, I'm not sitting here saying that schools need to be perusing through and monitoring like their big brother these kids' social medias, but at the same time, these kids are using their social medias as a way of communicating with each other, as a way of communication. And if you got somebody who is getting bullied every single day, dealing with mental issues, because clearly there's a mental issue situation going on here. Could be depression, could be a smattering of different things involved here because of him being bullied all the time, right? Why wouldn't they sit there and go, hey, we see what's going on. We need to bring this kid in so we could talk to him and see what's going down. Get down to the bottom of it. Get ahead of the situation. I understand not every single kid is going to get along with other kids. There are socially inept people out here in the world. It exists. There are people who don't have the social skills, like, say, the football star that was shot and killed. You know, I get it. We have varying degrees of social skills. Every last one of us, right? But when you got a kid going onto their social media and saying something like that, and there's other kids that are watching that, why wasn't there an approach to the situation? Why wasn't there somebody going out of their way to make sure that this didn't happen? Because there were warning signs. Clearly, there were warning signs that led up to this terrible situation. I want to show you guys this. I got this video. I haven't seen the whole thing yet, but we're going to watch it together. It's a video and interviewing one of the kids. Interviewing one of the kids. Let's just take a look. This is the same kid that said he knew there was multiple warnings, and he knew. That's why he didn't go to school, allegedly. Let's take a listen.
Actually, Trayshawn and his mom, Robin Redding, who Trayshawn actually didn't go to school today. I haven't gotten a chance to talk to him. He was actually just briefing police on what is believed to be kind of the threat that was leading up to this. Trayshawn, just a second, I'm going to start with your mom. Walk me through what this was like as a parent and explain. Trayshawn didn't go to school today because of a perceived threat, correct?
Well, he didn't go to school today because he was just not feeling comfortable with going to school. He had a conscience of saying, like, I don't want to go to school today, Mom. Can I just do it online? So I just said, okay, yeah. But then before him saying that, he said, Mom, none of the rest of the kids is going today. And I said, why? The rest of them not going? And he said, no. So I said, okay. He said he wasn't answering because all of them always say, I'm ready, I'm up, I'm getting on the bus, or meet me here, that nature. And that wasn't happening today.
And why was that? Was there an uneasy feeling about the kids?
He was that was just uneasy feeling that he had and didn't want to go.
I just got like a little feeling that, like, when I got up today, like, I text me and my little cousins, because I'm a senior, like, they're like a little bit younger than me, so I text them and I was like, is anybody up? Who's going to school? Like, get up, let's go, we're going to school. No one responded, so I'm like, this is weird. Like, we never do this. Like, either like somebody's sick or like something's wrong. So I'm like,
what was worrying everybody? There have been some ominous threats posted in recent days. Is that right?
Yeah, that is right. There it is. I've been hearing the threats too, and it's like, kids, they play around and say, oh, we're gonna shoot up the school or this. You don't supposed to play around with that. Right. Like, this is serious. You can't do that. So I mean, like, it's a lot of stuff that's been going on. This school, it's been tragic, and it's like, I don't even know. It's just
when you heard about what was going on at school today, you weren't there, but then you learned there's an active shooter. What was going through your mind?
My first thing when I got up, I put my shoes on, put my coat on, I told my mom, come on, let's go. I have a friend. He's more like my cousin. I think of him as my cousin. And I said, he's in there. He's the only one that went to school. And I need to get up there to get him out of that school because I don't want anything to happen to him.
And he is okay?
Yeah, he is fine. He's at home. He's a little bit scared, but he'll be okay. It's just been crazy.
Now, the threats that we've been talking about, I was just talking to the undersheriff again about that. They're looking into these threats. there was something posted about a deer head. Tell me about that.
That happened like probably like a month ago, which is like somebody cut off a deer head, his neck, about like around his neck.
An actual deer head.
The actual deer head, blood and everything, and threw it in our courtyard in our school. Which you have to get inside the school to get in that courtyard, and it's outside. And they like drew all on the buildings on the wall looking for our principal. They want to talk to our principal, ask him where he is. I mean, it's a lot to this. I mean, I don't have all the details, but
and they're still investigating. He's confirmed if it's connected to this sophomore who pulled the trigger today. You and as you guys got here, you saw a couple of the students come out. And I don't want you to name any names because they're still notifying people. But how is that hitting you, knowing that you know some of these kids that were shot today?
I mean, it worries me a lot. I mean, I grew up with these kids for so long. I've been going out here for almost like 4 or 5 years now. And I know of these kids that they're hurt and they're sad. Their parents don't know what to do, but it's going to be okay. God will heal everybody. Everybody will be fine.
We're certainly glad you're okay. And Robin, from a parent's standpoint, talk to me about safety. Do you feel safe letting Trayshawn go back to school here?
No, I do not, because they haven't got this under control. If all these things are already happening, you never know what might happen again. And I'm not going to risk my child being able to get hurt. So I would prefer just to have him online. I'm not sending him back to the school. There's nothing that nobody can say, oh, you going to school. Oh, it's over. You don't know. You can't predict anything for that to happen. So no, I'd rather for him to go online. My condolences goes out to the family and the staffs and all the, the kids that were injured into this and all the trauma ties and things that can cause all those students and staff.
And I've seen a lot of parents today, and they are definitely in a state of shock.
Yes.
Is it that way for you too?
Yes, it is. That's why I was up here like, I can't. I mean, if no one else is going to let their voice be heard, then mine is going to be heard. Yeah. You got to be able to get these kids under control. They have to. They have to get this whole thing under control. Security is a must. You can't say it won't happen. This can happen anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
At Select Block.
And she ain't wrong. She most definitely ain't wrong when she said that. Obviously, there's more to that interview, but I'm not going to show all of it. Of course, that's click on Detroit Local 4 WDIV that was covering that story. So if you're interested in checking it out, the rest of that interview, go and check it out. But more and more we're seeing now, like just to say this really quick, it's almost as if we're getting close. We're slowly but surely making kids want to get homeschooled, inspiring kids to want to get homeschooled, or do remote learning, right? To do virtual, because it's terrifying to go to school now. You don't know if you're going to come back home alive now because some kid is feeling some type of way, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. And like I said, not every kid is going to get along with every other kid, right? There is a weird social construct, right? That goes on inside of a high school, right? You got the jocks, you got the nerds, you got the, you got the theater geeks, you got the, you got all these different types of groups and cliques that exist, right? So not everybody's going to get along. And we can't automatically sit here and say, oh, no, just because every kid that may dress a certain way or be maybe more secluded to himself, automatically we got to keep an eye on them because they might be they might be an active shooter in the next year or two. No, but because you never know, it could be the football jock, it could be the head cheerleader of the high school. You know what I mean? The most popular girl in school or the most popular guy in school. It could be that or the most unpopular person in school and everywhere in between. So we can't sit there and just be monitoring only the people who are more to themselves or that are bullied, right? But like I said, when somebody's posting something online and you're seeing that, you need to do what you need to do to make sure your students are safe. Now you got that guy, that young man, Trayshawn, who just literally said, it was like a premonition. But he also said in another interview, which you saw in that video in the news clip earlier, that he had a warning sign. He said multiple days. He said there were multiple warning signs before ish hit the fan. That's why he didn't go to school that day. Real talk. So the question keeps coming. The question keeps popping up because he did talk about the deer head that was put in the courtyard, and he was like, "Yo, there were signs. There were signs of things that are about to go down. Why didn't the school and law enforcement work together to find out who put this deer head in the courtyard? How did it get in there? The other thing is aren't there security cameras all over the school? Why weren't they doing their due diligence to look things up and find out what's going on? Find out who brought that in. How did it get in there? How was somebody successfully able to bring in a head of a deer? Then you got this kid who's seeing that, and other kids see that too. And then on top of that, to throw salt and Tabasco sauce into this open wound, you got a kid who put out a countdown on social media saying, it's about to go down, y'all. T-minus whatever days. See y'all tomorrow. Still nothing happens. What's up with that?
Well, this does remind me of Parkland to a certain degree, where the police are able to get rid of a certain amount of responsibility here. Because, for instance, in Parkland, it was found that the police were they were allowed to hide, basically. They were not obligated to come out and protect the students or to risk their lives to save the students or anything. And with that Parkland finding, I pretty much expect that to extend to a lot of these cases where officers are now protected from not wanting to go to these schools and protecting the children because they're afraid of their own risk. In Parkland, this was found acceptable. I imagine it would be found acceptable in this as well, unfortunately. I mean, I don't have children, but this does make a even better argument for homeschooling. Well, online schooling is better unless you actually know how to teach. Online schooling is what you should do instead of teaching them yourselves. But the police, after that, are not required to protect your children in an incident like this. Obviously, a lot of police are going to risk their lives to protect your children. Some of them, I mean, you saw them in this one; they all ran in, but they don't have to. And they won't be held responsible if they don't. So that is a threat to consider.
And this is the thing, because especially when it comes to, let's not forget the parents of the shooter. They should be brought in for questioning as well. And I'm sure they're going to catch a case. Because how could you let a young boy get his hands on a semi-automatic handgun, to take into the school to shoot everybody? How's that even possible? You just happen to leave the gun laying on your kitchen table randomly? Whoops. Right? What, your son knows the combination to the safe in which the gun should be inside of? Properly secured away? Bro, let me tell you something, y'all. Okay? Because I understand that there's people out here that want right to bear arms and all that. And I'm not sitting here saying anything I'm not trying to say you shouldn't be able to bear arms, nothing like that. Hey, have your guns. Okay? But control them properly. What I mean by this is, this is a random idea. Don't leave an AR-15 just sitting around on the table. Don't leave a semi-automatic 9mm handgun just sitting around for someone to just scoop it up and walk out the door nonchalantly, effortlessly, right? You make it impossible for the people, your loved ones, to be able to get access to those guns. Man, I got one of my good friends, okay? He's got guns coming out his ass, okay? I go shooting with him all the time. All right. Great guy. One of my best friends. Amazing dude. He's straight up like G.I. Joe up in this piece. Okay. Straight up. If there's a zombie apocalypse, I know exactly who I'm going to stay with. You feel me? Okay. This dude knows how to shoot bow and arrows and all this stuff. This dude is incredible. All right. He's ready for that kind of ish to go down. Okay. But what he does to make sure that his kids have no access, no way of getting access to his stuff, is that he locks those things up. He has a safe that is impossible to crack. He has it in a closet that is also locked up. He has a thumbprint, whatever you want to call it, ID, whatever thing. Fingerprint lock. You know what I'm saying, David? Dagnabbit. That only his thumb can access and unlock. And then when you get inside the room, his artillery room, there's safes everywhere. Everything is still locked up. Every single one has a different combination, baby, that he has only locked in his brain. So if his kid ever wanted to just go, hey, guys, you want to see this cool looking gun my dad just got? There's no way he can get in there. It's locked within a lock within a lock within a lock within a lock. You understand what I'm saying? Only people that have the combinations are him, and it's in his brain. And that's it, y'all. He doesn't have these guns just laying about, strewn about. That's what I mean by, hey, man, have your guns, baby. Have your guns. Enjoy shooting targets and you know, America. Right to bear arms. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, y'all. Nothing wrong with that. But control your gun control. Control your guns. Control your right to have those guns. Because there are kids out here that are really sneaky, that are really, really smart, y'all, out here. When you're sitting there going, hey, son, let's go and shoot some guns. I'm going to teach you how to use these guns. And he does that, you know, over and over and over again, right? He's going in, he's unlocking the thing with his son standing to his side. You don't think the son's sitting there going, 15, right, 72, okay, 70. You know what I'm saying? You don't think he's doing the checking out the numbers and seeing what he's doing in the combination and the, you know what I mean? Turn around counterclockwise twice and spit over your left shoulder and then unlock. You know what I'm saying? You don't think he's learning that stuff? So you got to make sure that your stuff is locked within locked within locked within locked. Because these kids are smart out here. They're crafty as hell.
And from what
and the fingerprint thing, just to me, I was like, yo, I bowed down to him because what are you gonna do? Chop off his dad's finger and bring it over? Drag his dad's body as he's asleep to get access into that room? Hell to the no. He's gonna be like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to wait till my dad gets up to show my friends the cool gun. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Control your right to bear arms, especially around the people that you love. Because these kids out here do very stupid things because either they want to look cool or they want to rage and get their vengeance. And next thing you know, you're going, damn it. That gun was mine. And my dumbass left it on the counter while I was cleaning it up, while I was cleaning the gun. Just saying. Control your stuff. Then this kind of stuff won't happen at the school. So bring in the parents. Investigate, interrogate those parents because they're just as responsible. You could basically say that they were the ones pulling the trigger as well.
And for anyone who does need a lock to secure their weapons, like he said, fingerprint lock with a tumbler disc is your best bet. It's basically the spinning ones. Get a fingerprint one that spins. You can't really break into those without completely breaking the lock open. They're just some of the most secure ways, because the only way to get into them is with like a sledgehammer or something. you're not going to be able to pick that lock or trick it if it's got fingerprints and it's a tumbler disc.
See, and that's basically what my good friend has, right? Like he got, like I said, it's locked within locked. There's no way. I think the only thing he has that's laying outside of the locks is the damn bow and arrows, and that's it. And those are all dismantled.
It's not
So
easy
he'd
to
have
string a bow.
You see what I'm saying? So you have to sit there, take the time. That kid would have had to sit. Like if that kid was my friend's kid, he would have had to go out of his way to sit down and try to put everything together and then it would take time. Because he would have the only access if he was able to kick down the door. That'd be a dead giveaway. That's a big loud thud. You know what I'm saying? He would have to sit down and put that stuff together before he was able to even take that kind of stuff to any public place. So, like I said, these parents are just as responsible. They are. And this is why this is why I push so much about how important it is. This is why I say how important it is to have communication with your children. That it is incredibly important that you're having a relationship with your child or your children. If you feel that your son or daughter is feeling some type of way or feels disconnected, disjointed, ostracized, whatever within the school, I'm not sitting here saying you got to handle them with kid gloves all the time, but you have a conversation. You communicate with your child. Here's the thing. We don't know what kind of background he has. His parents could be jerks. This 15-year-old shooter. His parents could be jerks out here. We don't know. Or they could be the ones encouraging him to do said things. Could very well be that. But outside of that, I encourage every single one of y'all to communicate with your children, to have that relationship with your children. Because there could have been a full warning sign that was presented before he even posted something on social media, that maybe his parents, because of whatever, maybe because of their own self-centered situations, because of their own selfishness, not even saw what was going on. Could not even fathom that this was a real story, that this is a possibility. But this is why you have to have or try to create a strong connection with your children. Because a lot of times they're just doing certain things like this because they're so tired of not being heard. There was these big warning signs that happened. They saw it. These kids all saw it. And no one did anything. The faculty didn't do anything. Law enforcement didn't do anything. Now law enforcement is trying to backtrack and say, oh, no. These aren't connected. Yet you heard from a young kid, a senior, Trayshawn said, hey, that was foreshadowing to me. There was an energy and it didn't feel right to go into school today. And he didn't. Why? Because he saw the writing on the wall. And I still to this day am wondering, did this kid know? Did Trayshawn really know? Maybe he knew and didn't say anything. That's a possibility too. But any child, any of those students that saw the posting on social media, if they did not say anything to the school faculty, why didn't they? And I feel like that's going to be a question that a lot of us are going to be sitting here scratching our heads about. Because this particular mass shooting that happened at this high school in Oxford, Michigan, could have been prevented without a shadow of a doubt. It could have. But anyway, guys, that is the show today, guys. I want to say a big thank you to everybody for being on. I really do appreciate all y'all for being on, having a conversation with us today. David, you're the bomb, as always. Great to see that beautiful ginger face of yours.
Yeah, it's good to be back on here. It's been a bit.
Yeah, man, it's been a minute, but it feels good to get back into the groove. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Get into the groove and all that stuff. I will be on tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. What I'm going to talk about, you're going to have to stick around and find out. There's plenty of things to be popping off that I haven't been able to talk about. There is a missing girl story that I've been wanting to cover for a minute. Hopefully, we will be covering that tonight, unless something else pops off. I don't know, but we'll see. But it is a interesting story. And it should be talked about. It should see the light of day even more. You know what I'm saying? So we will be talking about that without a shadow of a doubt. I saw Rebel Soldier in the house. I have not seen that name in so long. Just wanted to say give him a shout out. Hopefully you are blessed and you are in a safe environment, Rebel Soldier. So hello, Rebel Soldier. Been a minute, my brother. But anyway, guys, do me a favor before you head off. Please be sure to hit that like button down below. That'd be really, really great. I'd love to see it go past 250, 300 likes before the show's over. Thank you. And for those of y'all who haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button, baby. We are working towards 50,000 subscribers. And here's the thing. I would love to get to 50,000 subscribers before Christmas. Today's the first of the month, by the way, December 1st. We got 25 days. Let's see if we can make that happen, right? That'd be amazing. That would be an amazing Christmas gift for me and a huge milestone because it's been a slow crawl to 50,000. It has been, man. Holy God, it's been a long, long ride, but we're almost there. We are almost there. We're getting to it. So please hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 50,000 subscribers. Okay. Oh, also, I want to say this too. Today marks the day that Rosa Parks changed the world. She decided to sit in the front seat of a bus and refuse to stand up. So I wanted to say big thank you to Rosa Parks because you changed the world just by sitting and standing up for your beliefs by not standing up. But you did change the world. So I wanted to say thank you, Rosa Parks. You the bomb. Anyway, and without her doing what she did, something like this right now, where I'm sitting and talking with my brother right here, David, would not be happening if she didn't make that move and sit down for her beliefs instead of standing up. So thank you, Rosa Parks. You the bomb diggity dog. Anyway, it's time to get going. David, again, thank you so much for being on, my brother. I appreciate you.
Man. Anytime.
All y'all have a wonderful one. I'll see you guys tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
I'm sorry, I can't make this interview boring because this man is too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is going to leave and go somewhere else where we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. For more information, call us now.
The Fur and Leather Center,